Fair and accurate representation has always been a struggle in film and media throughout history, with present day being no exception. In particular, there has been consistent underrepresentation and misrepresentation in films, namely that of men of color, which has led to the perpetuation and reinforcement of negative and harmful stereotypes in society. Additionally, looking only at Oscar-nominated films, this situation is made all the more clear. Films which often have problematic foundations have consistently won out, though minority roles are frequently portrayed in harmful and exploitative manners. In recent years, groups have taken far stronger stances against this kind of behavior through collective movements or individual actions, for example, #OscarsSoWhite. We can understand this predicament better using the approach of a symbolic interactionist. To simplify, popular culture creates, emphasizes, and perpetuates negative social types in how it ascribes meaning to social types. If harmful images of black men are put forth, then that influences the formation of thought and social structure. If there is an expectation that black men exist broadly in a certain way, social customs and understanding will reflect these assumptions. Just as individuals build their self-image from the judgment of others, the judgment of others affects the existence of these images. First up, Driving Miss Daisy, the 1989 Oscar winner for Best Picture and Best Writing.
Driving Miss Daisy, Richard D. Zanuck, Willie Zanuck.
The film has been criticized for its representation of a white perspective of a black man's life, diminishing the larger surrounding racial issue. Black characters in the film are all placed in subservient roles as either laborers or servants. In this way, the film tells the story of a white woman overcoming her racism by allowing a black man to serve her, an act that only marginally increases visibility for more prominent issues of race and racism, and is a pat on the back for white viewers.
My mother's a little high-strung.
I wouldn't be in your shoes if the sweet Lord Jesus come down and asked me himself.
I don't need you. I don't want you. And I don't like you saying I'm rich.
I ever tell you about the first time I leave the state of Georgia?
When was that?
A few minutes back.
From season to season.
It's not a Christmas present.
Oh, no.
Well, go on, open it up.
Well, look at that. Ain't nobody never given me that book before, Miss Daisy.
Hulk,
Yes.
you're my best friend.
Next up, Do the Right Thing, the 1989 film which was beat out by Driving Miss Daisy. Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee, is a film that tackles racism in a distinctly non-white lens and features a predominantly black cast, placing emphasis on the fact that there is not one kind of being black. It was nominated for Best Writing, and Danny Aiello, the only white main character, was nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
You know, all you ever talk about is nigga this and nigga that. And all your favorite people are so-called niggas.
It's different. Magic, Eddie, Prince are not niggas. I mean, they're not black. I mean, let me explain myself. They're not really black. I mean, they're black, but they're not really black. They're more than black. It's different.
It's different?
Yeah, to me, it's different.
You know, deep down inside, I think you wish you were black.
Get the fuck out of here.
Laugh if you want to. You know, your hair is kinkier than mine.
In the film, blacks are not merely observing these actors going through fictitious scenarios, they share their lives. The actors look into black eyes, speaking and grappling with problems blacks share. Lee, then, is not speaking for black people, he is speaking to black people. The film pierced the surface of race relations and racial representation and laid everything out on the table. Even the scoring and setting are predominantly black, enveloping audiences and forcing them, namely white viewers, to understand an alternate perspective and culture.
Dago Wab, Guinea, garlic bread, pizza slinging, spaghetti bending, Victimone, Perry Como, Luciano Pavarotti, solo meal non-singer motherfucker.
You gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey, ape, baboon, big thigh, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball dunking, titsoon, spade, mullignan. Take your fucking pizza and go the fuck back to Africa.
You little slanty-eyed, me-no-speaking American, own every fruit and vegetable stand in New York, bullshit Reverend Sun Young Moon, Summer Olympic 88 Korean kickboxing sabaran bitch.
You Goya bean eating, 15 in a car, 30 in an apartment, pointy shoes, red wearing, menudo, meter, Puerto Rican cocksucker? Yeah, you!
It's cheap. I got good price for you. Now catch it. How I'm doing? Chocolate egg cream drinking, bagel and deluxe, banana for this Jew asshole.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out!
Our third film, Django Unchained, from 2013, is another largely debated film for its addressal of slavery and depiction of black male identity. Christoph Waltz won for Best Actor instead of Jamie Foxx, who was not even nominated.
And the Oscar goes to Mr. Tarantino.
This is the second Academy Award and fifth nomination for Quentin Tarantino.
The film also won for Best Writing and was nominated for Best Picture and Cinematography. Many critics and viewers responded harshly, saying that the film at points was a spectacle of black-on-black violence. Statements suggest that the film portrays slavery as something non-serious, goofy, and stylish, delegitimizing the violent and horrific history associated with it. In the article Django Unchained, is its portrayal of slavery too flippant? Candace Allen critiques the black representations. Trash-talking, know-nothing, wannabe hipster white boy dares focus his sleazy sensibilities on the American Holocaust of slavery. Predictably, first to the post is fellow filmmaker Spike Lee, who declares Django disrespectful of slavery. Quote, "Slavery was not a spaghetti western," he says, steadfastly refusing to view the film. Allen goes on to explain that the film used the N-word 110 times, a staggeringly and unnecessarily large number, one that could very easily diminish the seriousness of such a term through normalization. These critics believe that the film perpetuates exploitative qualities through the narrative's language and style of depiction.
In my world, you gotta get dirty. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting dirty.
What's your name?
Django.
Finally, we have 12 Years a Slave, which also received mixed reviews, though many tended towards a hopeful and optimistic reading of the film. The film won Best Picture, Best Supporting Actress, Best Writing Adapted, and was nominated in 3 categories for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Directing.
Everyone deserves not just to survive, but to live. This is the most important legacy of Solomon Northup. I dedicate this award to all the people who have endured slavery and the 21 million people who still suffer slavery today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Some criticized it for remaining in a generally white framework, insinuating that we sympathize more easily with Solomon because he's educated, well-off, and resembles white people at the time more than any other black people. Conversely, the fact that our main character is a well-off, freed black man who happens to also be educated, literate, and a talented musician who is sucked into the slave trade represents a part of history many people have not involved themselves with. In this way, the depiction of Solomon Northup could also be a positive one. The extreme level of graphic violence is debated a lot as well, because many critics believe it necessary in order to convey the raw pain of slavery to audiences.
I was a free man. I'm not a slave.
Although it's difficult to say for certain which films make a difference in stereotyping and the portrayal of black masculinity, we can predict that films like 12 Years a Slave, which won many categories in the 2013 Academy Awards, will pave the way for future conversations about race on screen and off. As of 2017, we've seen many more complex black characters in films like Moonlight, Hidden Figures, Get Out, and Fences. In fact, Moonlight won this year for Best Picture. Denzel Washington was nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role for Fences. Mahershala Ali won Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Moonlight. Viola Davis won Best Actress in a Supporting Role for Fences, while Naomi Harris from Moonlight and Octavia Spencer from Hidden Figures were both nominated, and Moonlight was nominated for Best Cinematography. And even though Get Out came out too late to be considered for the 2017 Oscars, Jordan Peele made history as the first black director-writer ever to have his first film peak at over $100 million in box office revenue. We can only hope that these studies show the future moving towards a more inclusive, positive representation of black men in film.
What we got to say, fight the power. What we got to say, fight the power. Come on. What we got to say, fight the power. What we got to say, fight the power. Come on. Yo, check this out, man.